we found that you started that journey at 19 years old. So you became what Americans would call a Navy SEAL, a naval diver in Australia at 19.
Well, yeah, I started the process of going through the selection courses, and yeah, shit, guys. We let us swear on this program. I'm Australian, sorry.
Yeah. You're good.
I lose half my material. So yeah, no, I mean the selection programs to get into that course is, I mean, there's very few things that will strip you bare as an individual, to your soul, to see who you are as a person, and that's, most people don't get through it. Exposed to the 4 pillars of misery, to be hungry, cold, tired, and wet for extended periods of time, sleep deprivation, and honestly, most of it, I'd say 80% it's mental, 20% physical. I mean, obviously you have to be extremely fit to get through there, but it's a mind fuck. It really is. They're designed to. These are the only courses in the military that you're designed to fail. And once they break it, they build you back up into what they need.
Wow, sounds life-changing. So, are you able to talk about some of the things that you had to do in that admission process?
Yeah, so I came through what's called CDAT, Clearance Diver Acceptance Test, which is our version of Hell Week. Only goes for 12 days. I came through that. It was late 1999. Hey. So it was actually before a lot of the occupational health and safety stuff came in. Oh. So there's stuff now is that you have to get a certain amount of hours sleep a night, and that. But I would say over those 12 days, we average between 1 and 2 hours sleep a night. Going all day, every day. I mean, burning just phenomenal amounts of calories. Hardly sleeping. I went for 3 days without pissing. Just because my body was so continuously hydrated, I couldn't put as much into my body as what I was sweating out. You'd be going all day doing one thing, and then you go to bed. You've been in bed for an hour, and you get up, and you're given 2 minutes to be ready, dressed, waiting on the railway line. And you go up to, like they're called dress number 2 in your wetsuit with your fins, and you're about to go off for like a 6-mile swim. And you go to get in your wetsuit and realize it's in the freezer and they've all been frozen, and you're trying to get in there. And in the middle of winter, just mental, just shit that mentally fucks with you. I mean, they'll sit there, they'll dress number 1, which is your PT gear, so your shirt, shorts, and runners with a drink bottle. Dress number 2, wetsuit and fins. Dress number 3, overalls and boots. And they'll just stand you there for hours saying dress number 1, 30 seconds. And you race to get out of whatever you're in into that. They'll say dress number 3, 1 minute, go. And they just do that for hours and hours. And guys are just like, fuck, I can't deal with this. And all you're doing is getting dressed and undressed. But when you do that, they're throwing sand in all your wetsuits, sand in all your gear. So every time you're doing it, and you're freezing cold. I mean, you're standing out there. I mean, you're wet, you're cold. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. So when I joined the Navy too, this is an interesting thing. So I grew up with childhood asthma, and obviously when you join the military, if you really want to get in, you're not supposed to get in. You tell them what they want to hear, not the truth. So I obviously didn't declare that I had asthma, and actually still had it when I went for this selection program. And I mean, at the beginning of it, you get strip searched for everything, making sure you're not hiding anything or taking anything on this course. And I managed to hide my Ventolin inhaler in one of my packs. But then we go for this 6-hour run. It's called the gate to gate. You just keep going back and forth. And I had this Ventolin inhaler stuffed under my balls. And then we get down to the end of the run, and there's a boat waiting there with all scuba equipment there. And they say, okay, everyone on the boat. And the boat goes out into the middle of the harbour. It's all lit, everything. You're getting dressed. You're just diving in your PT gear, in your shirt and shorts. And so there's no chance to get changed or hide shit or anything like that. And then they're literally in the water. You're getting dragged down. You're going down, down, down. And I've got this Ventolin inhaler under my manhood. And I'm thinking, if I pull this out and try and throw it away, then 1, I don't have it. 2, someone might see it. It means I'm off course. 3, if I leave it under there, the pressures that I'm going to, is this thing going to explode? If it explodes, I'm fucked anyway. So I left it there and took the chances. But these are the sort of stuff that you go through if you, I suppose, if you're committed to wanting to do something. So,
Yeah, that is commitment. I also had asthma growing up pretty severely, and I just want to say that like it's no joke. It's like sometimes your inhaler can legitimately save your life. I've been in a situation where I didn't have my inhaler, and I was just like I couldn't even sleep without it. So when you have to do these insane physically demanding things, you do need something like your inhaler if you have asthma, and so that's
man. I mean, the last thing in the world you should be doing with asthma is a selection course to become a Navy diver. So
yeah.
But I got through it fortunately, and here I am.
You talked about being committed, and obviously that's commitment. Were you committed to the idea of being a Navy diver before you went in, and taking into account all the things that you'd possibly have to go through? Or were you kind of just like blindly walking into it, not too aware of what was actually before you?
So the original idea or seed to become a Navy diver started. So when I was a kid, I was a naughty little shit. And we would dare each other to steal stuff from shops and stuff. 12 years old. At 13 years old, we figured that if we go and steal the fishing lures, the calamari fishing lures from the fishing shop, and take them down to the fishing wharf or the pier, we could sell them back for $5 each. So that became good money, and I realized all the calamari fishermen are fishing through the night. And so if you want to get the most lures, you get down there first thing in the morning. So I'd get up in the freezing cold, I'd go down there initially in like a 1 millimeter thick spring suit, wetsuit, and go down there and collect all these lures, go to, sell them back, go to school, and get $30-$40 instead of $5 or $10. That's good money when you're 13 years old. And then started using all this money to put myself through dive courses and buy better diving gear, stay down there longer, again, make more money. And then just grew up, just had a passion for the water. And I mean, there's some summers there, I promise I spend more time in the water than out. And that, for a kid that grows up passionate about diving and in the water, the ultimate job in the world is to be a Navy diver. And that's where the seed was planted.
Wow. And what part of Australia did you grow up in?
So the first sort of 10 years in Sydney, and then when parents eventually separated, back down to Melbourne. And so this was the first 10 years in Sydney, second 10 years or 9 years in Melbourne. Yeah.
That's New South Wales, right? Is it both?
That'd be like it is New South Wales, Sydney. It'd be like saying sort of probably LA to San Diego type. No, actually not that far. LA.
Okay.
To San Diego to San Francisco type.
The water is colder down there. I'll have people know. I went up to Queensland, and the water is a little bit warmer, so you were diving in the cold stuff. For those
down there in winter, hey, the water's like 8 degrees. So it's again, you get the whole Fahrenheit thing going. So
yeah,
it's cold.
I'm trying to think what that is. Cold. Yeah, that's probably like 40 something, which is like unbelievably freezing to be. It's like an ice bath.
It's sort of cold when you get in. You're like, oh, your ice cream headache. Freeze type thing.
Yeah, you forget how to breathe. I saw in one of an interview of yours, you spoke pretty candidly about being picked on at school. And do you think that had something to do with your passion for joining the forces?
Well, it was weird, hey, and I do these podcasts or interviews and stuff. In a way, it's sort of like therapy. It's talking about stuff, getting shit off your chest, off your shoulders.
That's how we feel. That's how we started.
I think it was last year, the year before, I was doing of all things, an interview for a Czech fashion magazine, and this woman's like, she's tell us, where did this whole macho sort of attitude come from? And I'd never actually thought about it until then. And it was when my parents first split up and I changed schools, and went to a new school. It's like the new kid, and just got picked on every day. I'm a big dude now, like 6'3" and about 240. But I didn't grow up as a big kid, and just going to this school and getting picked on every day, and then just going home with all the buttons ripped off your shirt and black eyes and blood lips and that. And I never really thought back to it until then. And then I remember after that, just never wanting to be in that position again. I just tried to become a sort of hard-nosed, badass little dude, you know. But then it sort of gained momentum, and I sort of had a persona that I had to try and fulfill, maybe in my eyes, maybe in the eyes of everyone I thought I was trying to impress, or just keep this image. And yeah, that sort of fed through my football career. I played Australian football. It's like the old version of football, but without all the helmet and the shoulder pads and all that stuff.
Yeah, the badass version.
It's like rugby, but going in any direction. Yeah, and I was a hard player. And then hunting, as soon as I got old enough to buy guns, I was buying guns and hunting animals. And again, not for any other reason than to try and get some form of primal respect from my peers. And this was all sort of this circular feeding into this image of that I was trying to maintain, of this tough, hard guy. And then, as a hard dude, or wanting to be this macho dude, going into the Navy and becoming a diver, that's sort of fulfilling the dream,